checking in. Going in for IUI number 5. Say hey, Michael. Michael doesn't want to say hey. Going into our fertility clinic. The big truck we have to walk around. We are very excited and we'll see you guys inside.
We are ready for the IUI, right?
Yes, another IUI. Let's give it a shot.
And Michael, this is looking good compared to the one before.
Okay.
Yeah, the one from May, I looked at the numbers and the concentration was 12 million, today it's 19.
Oh,
and actually
good.
after the wash it's 28, so
Awesome.
yeah, so it's good for IUI.
Yay,
Good.
much better because last
So
time.
whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Yes, we been taking those vitamins you told us and we upped the dosage, so maybe that's what helps.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Yay.
good. Keep it up. Alright, that's good.
Okay. And we only had one on the right, and it was on the right side too, so it was good.
Yeah.
Worked out perfect.
Exactly where we want it to be.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to pass this back on.
Okay.
If you can scoot down a tiny bit.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Going to the uterus, okay?
Okay.
Then connect this to here. So I'm opening up the cervix a little bit. I'm having difficulty getting in, okay?
Okay.
So for some reason, who did the last one for you? The doctor Sola?
You did?
I did?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, you had problems last time
I
too.
did, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if they told you that there was some difficulty getting in.
Yes, yes, you did.
Right, I'm done.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, my name is Danny and thank you for joining me again today. Now I know my last video was a little crazy, guys. Let's be honest, it was a hot mess. I was a hot mess. I was just not in a good place, and if you've been following me on this journey, you know how tough it's been. Infertility in general is just really hard, and honestly guys, I just kind of got to a breaking point where I just kind of had a breakdown, and you know, and it happens. It does. I mean, what else can I say? You put so much heart, so much time, so much effort, so much faith, and so much hope. I mean, let's be honest guys, infertility, it is really tough, and as you've kind of seen on our journey, we haven't had it easy. You know, we've done 5 IUIs now, and you know, nothing's kind of working, and I just kind of got to a point where I was just really down in the dumps because I was like, you know, Lord, like why isn't this happening for us? And you know, I just needed to get it out, and thank you. I just want to say to all of you guys for how much love and support you showed me after I posted that video. Because after I posted it, I was like, you know what? I really should have posted that video. Like, really, Danny? Like, you were a hot mess. But from the very beginning, from video number 1, I told you guys I'd show you the good, the bad, the ugly. And that was definitely the ugly and the bad. So thank you for supporting me, for all the text messages, phone calls, messages, comments, everything of your love and support. And so I kind of have a lot to catch you guys up on because I really haven't been posting videos because it kind of happened fast. So basically, we started IUI number 5. My last video, you know, I started my period, and within that week, we go for multiple ultrasounds and blood work. So I went for my first ultrasound on day 4 of my cycle, and everything checked out. It looked great. There were no cysts on my ovaries, and my lining was perfect. So they went ahead and put me back on letrozole, 5 milligrams a day of letrozole. So I started taking that, and I took that for 5 days. So I stopped taking it last Saturday. And then I went in for another ultrasound and blood work. Now this ultrasound that I went in on Monday was to check the follicle sizes, because if you don't know, taking letrozole basically stimulates follicle and egg growth. So it kind of stimulates your ovaries to grow those follicles. And I'm only on 5 milligrams, which isn't a very high dosage, but it seems to be working for us. It usually provides us with at least one good follicle. So we went in on Monday to basically check the size of the follicles. So they measure them, and they need to be between 18 and 20. I think it's centimeters, could be millimeters. Guys, I'm not good with measurements or math. It has to be between 18 and 20. That's the size that they want the follicle to measure at. So they started on my left side. So when she did the ultrasound, she was like, well, I know you don't have a fallopian tube on the left side, but we still have to check for follicles on the left side. So I was like, okay. So she scans over, and I see the left side, and I see about 3 or 4 little follicles. And I'm thinking to myself, oh no, those are too little. So she measures the biggest one out of those on the left side in my ovary, and it only measured 13.4, which is really bad. So I'm obviously like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, the letrozole didn't work, my follicles aren't growing, you know, freaking out. But I'm like trying to stay calm, like, Lord, ground me, help me stay calm. Let's just pray. And I think I even said it in the video, or like, not in the video, because I wasn't able to film it because I was there by myself, unfortunately. And they were like rushing girls in and out of there. So I really didn't have time to set up my camera to film. So I'm so sorry that you guys weren't with me for the follicle scan. But so I'm sitting there and I'm telling them, I say this out loud. I'm like, okay, well, let's pray. I say this to the nurse. I'm like, let's pray that the right side has one good one, at least one good one. And she kind of looked like, yeah. And she kind of just scanned over. And as soon as she scanned over to my right side, which is my right ovary, which is where I have a fallopian tube, which is where we want the follicles to be and where we want them to be the right size, she scans over, guys. And as soon as she scans over, it was like the skies opened, like, ah, like it was amazing, because as soon as she scanned over, all you see is this huge, like, ginormous follicle, like big, beautiful, amazing follicle. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, I immediately said to myself, thank you so much, Lord, because it was huge, guys. And it was the only one. I think there was one other follicle, maybe 2, but she, as soon as she saw that one, she didn't really look anywhere else, because that was the biggest one out of all of them that were there on the right side in that ovary. So she immediately measured it, and it measured at 18.2. So it has to be between 18 and 20, and we're right there at 18s. And it's on the right side. Like, guys, come on. Like, regardless of if you don't believe in God, I do. And to me, that's a God thing. For there to be absolutely no viable follicles on the left side, where there is no fallopian tube, and for there to be only one, but one perfectly sized follicle on the right side where I only have the one fallopian tube, to me, guys, that's pure God. Like, that is such a God thing. That's such a blessing. And I immediately thanked him right then and there, like, Lord, thank you so much. Like, tears running down my eyes, because there it was, our little baby follicle. It's like in my mind, like, I automatically think like, oh, there's my little baby. Like, to me, like, I know it's just a follicle, guys, but like, to me, I was like, oh, it's like the perfect, like, already, I'm like, it's the perfect baby, and it's just a follicle. Yeah, that's where my mind goes immediately. It's like, oh, there it is. That's our child, even though it's not our child yet. So she also did blood work, and she also drew blood for my AMH level, which basically tests for ovarian reserve. A sorority sister of mine reminded me, hey, Danny, make sure that they're testing your AMH levels. So I made sure that they took that. So hopefully we'll know in a couple weeks or so what my AMH levels are, which is follicle scan. And then she checked my lining. So when she checked my lining, she said, you really want your lining to be between like an 8 and a 10. When she checked it, she measured mine and it was at a 6, but she said that's okay because we still have a few days before we do the IUI procedure. So within those few days, my lining should grow to be, between the 8 and the 10. So she said even my lining looked great. So we had one big beautiful follicle on the right side and my lining was great. And then I got a call later that night from the nurse saying that the blood work came out perfect and that the doctor reviewed everything and that he wants to move forward and do IUI number 5. So that brings us to present day. Today is Thursday and we definitely went today, Michael and I, and did IUI number 5, guys. We finally got to do IUI number 5. This is our third time trying to do IUI number 5 and we finally got to do it. So as you saw, or if you didn't, I know the videos were kind of, it's kind of hard to tell in the videos, but kind of let me fill you in on what happened during IUI procedure number 5. So I don't remember if I told you guys this with IUI number 4 or not. I don't think I did. So let me backtrack real quick. When we did IUI number 4 a couple months ago, the doctor, our fertility doctor, he did have an issue getting the catheter through my cervix. Like he was having a hard time. And it took him a little while to get the catheter up where it needed to be for him to then inject the sperm where it needed to be. So today, he had an even harder time. I mean, guys, usually I'm in and out of there doing those IUIs probably within like 5 minutes. We were there a little while trying to basically get the catheter through my cervix and where it needed to be. He had a lot of issues. He had to pull it out a couple times and retry it. He had to basically open me up wider, which was very painful. And I'm not gonna lie, this was probably the most painful IUI I've had, with the poking and the prodding and the in and out and him trying to get through the cervix multiple times and him basically expanding me, so he can get a better view and try to get... Anyways, it was just difficult this time. More difficult than it's been in any other IUI. He said he got it where it needed to be, and I'm hoping and praying he did, because he got just like really quiet, and he's just like, I could tell he was frustrated because he even asked me. He was like, I guess he didn't remember, because he was like, did we have this hard of a time last time, getting the catheter where it needed to be? And I said, you did? I told him while we're doing all this, I said, yeah, you did have a hard time last time, but not... Oh, and let me tell you about Michael's sperm count, guys. This is also amazing news. So Michael went this morning before our procedure and gave his sperm sample for the IUI. And amazing news. So Michael, for IUI number 4, he was only at 12 million sperm, which is pretty low, guys. If you go below 10, basically they tell you, the fertility clinic will usually tell you, if the sperm count is below 10 million, then your only option really is IVF. So we were just hoping and praying that it was not lower than 12. And honestly, I wanted it to be higher than 12 because I just don't, that's just bad, 12 million. It's just, it doesn't help your odds, basically. I know it only takes one, but the more the better, So Michael's sperm was at 19 million, guys. Like, yay! So it went up by 7 million, and I really think that's because we upped his vitamin dosage. So yes, we had problems getting through the cervix and getting the catheter where it needed to be, but the doctor said he was able to do it, even though it took him a little while. So when I sat up and everything and, he was done, he did tell me, which this kind of was like, I don't ever want to hear bad news, especially when you want to stay in a positive mindset and everything. But once he got done with the IUI, he was like, well, if this doesn't work, guys, let me tell you, he should know better than to say that. Like, come on, doctor. Like, really? He was like, I don't want to hear if this doesn't work. I want you to say, this is going to work. We're going to make it happen this time. So when he said that, I was like, heart kind of dropped a little. But I can't let that get to me. That's just one person. That's just, I'm sure he didn't mean to say it like that. And I know he didn't. He's a really sweet guy. He's a great doctor. But he was like, if this one doesn't work, next time what I recommend we do is basically put you under a light anesthesia through, you know, IV, kind of put me to sleep and do the IUI procedure next time while I'm under. That way he can kind of go in surgically and open my cervix to make it easier to place the catheter. He said some other things, but he said it so fast, guys, I can't remember, and I'm gonna find out what the procedure is called so I can tell you about that later. But he said basically so he can get in there, pull the cervix and open it, or he said some crazy things. But it basically, he said the reason that they would put me under is because it's very painful. And what he did today was very painful. So I can't imagine like what they're gonna do. And honestly, I'd much rather be passed out for it because I don't want to feel that pain. So Michael and I haven't decided if we're gonna do 6 IUIs. And I honestly, guys, I don't even want to think about IUI number 6 right now. I want to stay focused on IUI number 5 and just stay faithful and hopeful that this IUI was the one. Trying to stay positive, guys. So I start progesterone on Saturday. It's Thursday, so I will start taking progesterone suppositories 2 times a day, once in the morning and once at night. So that I'll start, and I'll do that for the next 2 weeks. And then we will take our pregnancy test in 2 weeks, our home pregnancy test. And we are just going to pray and hope for amazing, amazing news. And once again, guys, thank you so much for your love and support, for your prayers. Oh my gosh, I've been flooded with prayers, and it just fills my heart with so much joy, and it fills my heart with so much peace. These last few days after posting that last video to you guys, I have felt more love and more peace, and I am strengthening my relationship with God. I'm working very hard at focusing on Him and His plans for me, and that has also helped keep my anxiety down, my worry down, and keep me at peace. So pray for me and Michael these next 2 weeks. Pray for us to have peace of mind and not worry, and just allow God to work in our lives and do His plans, you know. So obviously I pray every day that it is in God's plans that Michael and I be blessed with a child, and I just hope with all my heart that that is the case, and that we will get amazing news at the end of these 2 weeks. So dreaded 2-week wait, here we come, starting I guess tomorrow. We'll start tomorrow, guys. I'm going to enjoy IUI number 5 today and just feel positive and at zen and peace that it all went well. So thanks for watching. Like this video, subscribe, please hit the red button and subscribe, please, to my channel so you can be with me as we continue on this infertility journey to baby Taylor. So yes, I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much again. Love you guys. Bye.